I sat in our cozy living room, a soft glow from the lamp casting shadows across the walls. A photo album rested on my lap, its pages filled with snapshots of the past 5 years. Holidays, birthdays, weekend getaways, lazy Sunday mornings. Each picture told a story of love, laughter, and the life Mark and I had built together. My name is Emily, and I'm 28 years old. I met Mark, 34, at a mutual friend's birthday party, and from the moment we started talking, there was a spark. He was everything I had ever hoped for in a partner, kind, intelligent, and incredibly supportive. We had what people would call a perfect relationship. I remember our first date at a little Italian restaurant where we talked for hours. From then on, we were inseparable. Within months, we spent every weekend together, exploring new places and making memories that felt like they would last forever. A key moment in our relationship was our first vacation together. A week in the mountains. Just the two of us. That was when I knew I wanted to spend my life with Mark. He felt like home. Over the years, we talked about the future, and marriage was always part of the plan. Or at least, I thought it was. Then last night, in a single moment, everything changed. Finally worked up the courage to ask, "Mark, do you ever plan on marrying me?" His answer shattered me. "I want to get married, but I don't know if I want to marry you." It felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. My heart pounded in my chest, and suddenly the last 5 years didn't make sense anymore. Was I wasting my time? Had I been fooling myself? Looking back, I had spent the last 5 years believing Mark and I were on the same page. We had built a life together. We had a home that reflected us. Pictures from our travels, inside jokes scribbled on sticky notes, a worn-out couch where we had spent countless nights watching movies. We had been through ups and downs together. His job loss, my stressful work changes, family struggles, but we had always come out stronger. Yet, when it came to marriage, something wasn't right. For the past year, I had been dropping hints, casually mentioning engagement rings, sharing wedding articles, and even subscribing to a bridal magazine, which I left conveniently on our coffee table. Every time we attended a wedding, I'd point out things I liked, imagining our own special day. At first, Mark played along. But then, he started withdrawing. Whenever the topic of marriage came up, he'd change the subject. He'd laugh it off, but I could sense the tension. At family gatherings, the pressure only increased. My mother, never one to beat around the bush, would say, "You know, Emily, your father proposed after just a year of dating." She'd glance at Mark with a knowing smile. Mark's family was more subtle, but they were curious. His mother once asked, "Have you two thought about taking the next step?" His father, usually quiet, would joke, "Married life isn't so bad, you know." I thought Mark was just feeling overwhelmed. I told myself, maybe he just needs more time, but how much time was enough? Yesterday, I finally decided I couldn't wait anymore. As we sat on the couch, I turned to him and asked, "Mark, do you ever plan on marrying me?" His silence was deafening. His eyes dropped to his hands, and I could feel my chest tightening. Then, he said it. "I want to get married, but I don't know if I want to marry you." I stared at him, my mind racing. "What? You're everything to me, Emily. I love you, but I don't feel like we're there yet." There yet? We had been together for 5 years. We had built a home, shared our lives, supported each other through everything. How could he still not be? "Sure, I don't want to make a promise I can't keep," he added, looking at me with regret. Tears filled my eyes. "So, you're not sure about us?" "That's not what I mean," he insisted. I need more time." Time. That word again. I had already given him 5 years. How much more time did he need? I stood up, my body trembling. "Mark, I love you. but I can't keep waiting for you to decide if I'm the one. I deserve certainty. I deserve someone who chooses me, without hesitation. His eyes filled with sadness. I know, Emily, I don't have the answer yet. And that was the problem. I left the house that night. I drove to the park and cried. The kind of cry that makes your body ache. The kind that comes from realizing the life you thought you had might not be real. I called my best friend, Sarah. She listened, furious on my behalf. Emily, you deserve better. If he's not sure about you after 5 years, when will he ever be? I spent the next few days in a daze. Friends and family gave conflicting advice. Maybe he just needs more time, my father said. You shouldn't wait forever, my mother countered. Then, Mark's sister, Lisa, told me something that made everything clearer. Mark has always been scared of commitment. Our parents had a rough marriage, and he's terrified of making the wrong choice. I realized something then. Mark's indecision wasn't about me. It was about his fears. But that didn't change the fact that I needed more than maybe someday. So, I made a choice. I called Mark and asked to meet. I love you, I told him, my voice steady. But I can't keep waiting. If you're not sure now, you never will be. His eyes were full of regret. Emily, please. I'll do better. I don't want to lose you. You already have. And for the first time in a long time, I felt free. Walking away from Mark was the hardest thing I've ever done. But it was also the most empowering. I realized that waiting for someone to choose you is not love. Love is knowing your worth and choosing yourself. First, it still hurts. The memories don't just disappear overnight. But I know that somewhere out there, someone will choose me without hesitation. And until then, I'm choosing myself to anyone in the same situation. Don't waste years waiting for someone to be sure about you. You deserve certainty. You deserve real love. Thank you for watching. If you liked this story, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more real-life experiences.